but let me tell you, about 80% of the doctors do not get this opportunity. We are producing doctors, primary doctors who are going to serve in the rural area. What we our aim of the medical colleges and the medical council is, and the Ministry of Health is. We want to have more and more doctors serving in the rural areas and in the semi-urban areas. If we are
you mean unless they come from those areas, they will not go there?
Unless they come from those areas, they are going to serve there.
Okay. Before we went to the break, Dr. Sekhon was saying that since the people have to serve in the rural areas, we have to have a system whereby those people qualify for the exam. Colonel Sandhu, what is your take on this?
Sir, I totally agree with Dr. Sekhon. We should, the institution has been given certain amount of power by the Supreme Court in the judgment. I am concentrating basically on that.
Yes.
We have tried and shown these documents to state government. It is just not affecting them. They conduct the exam against this Supreme Court order. They admit the student government quota.
Punjab is one of the few states which hasn't accepted.
They have followed no clause of this judgment. They conduct the test. They admit the student. They fix the fee. They collect the fee. The worst thing is they themselves collect the fee and send us up 3 months after conduct.
Dr. Zohra Singh, do you fear that in case this MCA proposal is pushed through, it could lead to litigation because there is a Supreme Court judgment which kind of doesn't allow the MCA to come out with a proposal like this?
Of course, it is going to, there will be a spurt of litigation if this system is enacted that way. On the contrary, I would like to emphasize this, that with this advent of the multiple choice questions, MCQs and the competitive examinations, the basic structure of school education and higher secondary school education, it has been eroded. And as in the state of Punjab, which is a very agrarian state, and we always claim that our 80% population hails from the rural areas. But when we take the analysis of these examinations, only 2% and 2.5% students only, they come from rural areas who qualify this test. There was a study by Punjab University.
I think most people from rural areas are more keen to go abroad these days, no?
No, agreed, but they are very keen to come to the medical services as well, and they are very keen to study and work hard. And you see, at the time when we took admissions, there was no entrance examination. We used to study the total context of the book, not the multiple choice questions. By multiple choice questions, you can cram the questions, you can score very high, right, but your mental level of that understanding, that doesn't emerge as strong as it should be.
Right. Professor Raj Bahadur, now even this new proposal, the capitation fee that the private medical colleges charge, that remains. The only rider is that the private colleges too will have to admit students who have who have qualified in that one single examination. So don't you think this capitation fee is a real problem area which needs to be dealt with?
Sir, most of the doctors of my generation, they are from the low middle class. Doctors, they are not from the rich background. Those who have gone to the medical profession, they are essentially from the low middle class. If that is so, I personally feel that capitation as such is not a good thing.
For a
noble profession like this.
Is there a capitation fee now in India exists? I don't think so.
Sir, in Punjab,
there is no
capitation fees for last at least 10 years.
There is no.
The corruption starts when government doesn't pay you your own expenditure. As Supreme Court says, they have laid a straight formula. Your total expenditure divided over by student plus 15% your development charges. Punjab government doesn't give this much. Haryana gives. UP gives.
Mr. Sandhu, the orthopedic seat in this country is sold for 1 crore rupees. I don't know whether it is a capitation.
No, it is in the country, everything is sold. The complete medical field are sold in the south.
And this is nothing. And this is not only in
South. You heard this story even in the PGI recently.
I am saying so the whole nation is for sale. If you have money, you can buy it.
See the point.
I don't agree with you on that
point. Commentary.
This is unfortunate.
Professor Raj Bahadur, I want to touch on a slightly different issue.
Sir.
Now, a more stringent system is being introduced for registration and recognition of the medical colleges. The MCI has supposedly introduced a very transparent, proposed a transparent assessment system whereby the specialists will be randomly picked up from a list to assess various colleges. Their date of visit will be a secret, which even now it is, but though it doesn't remain a secret. But the quality of teaching will also be assessed through a system of continuing medical education. Now, do you think this will help eradicate the kind of corruption that takes place in recognition of various colleges?
Certainly, yes. Certainly yes, because if you take a small example of my institution, even the ACR form, in the ACR form I put a student component where the students, they are evaluating the teacher. And why not we also evaluate what exactly everything is going on. So this will certainly, this one parameter which would assess how the students they are behaving as far the education is concerned, how the teacher they are behaving. So we need to assess on both the sides.
Right. Dr. Sekho, now I think some of the Punjab medical colleges also got into trouble as far as corruption is concerned. But do you think this will help eradicate that fake doctors or enrollment of doctors or transfer of doctors for only the purpose of getting a good assessment?
Definitely the assessment procedure and process by medical council should be changed. There should be more openness in evaluation system. There should be more CMEs which should be monitored by the medical council, and there should be monitoring of the curriculum which has been getting on. But
which hasn't been changed for years.
I would like to add that I can say about the medical colleges and undergraduate teaching. There had been syllabus which has been added to the old syllabus, and the previous syllabus has never been deducted out. Similarly, the old equipment has never been deleted from the MCA.
There is need for a kind of an overall.
There is a need for an overall
revamping
view and change in the syllabi, the periods, the duration, and the technology of teaching.
Right.
We are still following the same old didactics in the lecture.
Right. Dr. Zohra Singh, now do you face a similar malpractice as far as dental colleges are concerned when there is an inspection or there is a college has to be recognized?
You see, I always press upon this point that the regulatory bodies, it may be Medical Council of India, Dental Council of India, AICT, they act like regulatory bodies only. They should act like facilitators as well. Because as entrepreneurs, we have ventured a lot of money, lot of hard work, lot of toil, lot of sweat of a brow for erecting the institutions in the rural areas where, for example, fluorosis was rampant in Muxar district.
Yes.
And we came up with a dental college where there was no faculty and all that. But the Dental Council of India, Medical Council of India, they have the similar norm, the same norms for Patiala, same norms for district Muxar, which is the most backward area. So they make very hard and very concrete type of rules which are not facilitating the advancement of education by and large. They should be facilitators instead of they are just regulators.
I think Kansandhu, in Punjab there is a very different kind of a problem which is being faced. When you have to start a college, we have been hearing about, you know, you have to pay a huge money to the people in power. Now how do you deal with that?
No sir, that is not true. I think when I started college even 10 years back, we never paid anybody. We struggled a lot. We produced everything on the ground.
But I hear now, you know, if you have to start a nursing college or if you have to start a new college.
Sir, I will tell you, Punjab has got over 400 nursing schools and colleges. Colleges are more, students are less. Everyone is half-baked today. If somebody has 50 seats, they are only filled 30. Similar cases in homeopathic, Ayurvedic and dental. Every year, now the corruption in these institutions have stopped altogether because there are no students available. We beg students to join us.
The supply has outstripped the demand.
Yes. Yeah. Only corruption, if at all, anywhere there is maybe in the medical, because medical colleges are less, students demand is more.
Yeah, Kansandhu, now there is also a proposal to revamp the MCI itself.
Yes.
You know, I saw an interview in one of the newspapers where it was mentioned that it should be split into 3 or 4 different parts. There is going to be a human resources, a national commission for human resources, there is going to be an education council, an accreditation council and so on. Do you think that is desired?
It is desired because after Ketan Desai, things had exploded, and whatever was going around for 10-15 years. Nobody was opening up. Someone has taken the courage to catch these people.
Professor Raj Bahadur, with your experience in the medical profession, the split of the MCI into 3 or 4 different bodies, will that help?
No, this is a different thing we are talking. The MCI stays there, the DCI stays there, the physiotherapy council stays there.
Some of the roles of MCI are taken away.
No, it has been done in a different way. There is a chief person at the top, then there is a board of directors, and then the medical council per se, the MBBS, is taken care by one director.
Okay.
The dental council is taken by one director. The physical medicine rehabilitation is taken by one director. So this is the way it is not the medical council. Let us not say the medical council of India. It is a human health resource, whatever the term is. But at the top there is a person who is appointed by the government, and he has to be luminary. But it cannot be like the way in Medical Council of India, a person elected by boards, and he is being elected because he is feeding the people.
I hope the government's interference will not take away the autonomy of the profession. No?
We have, see, it is essentially a branch, is an institution. I'll say it is the institution of the doctors, and it is the doctors those who have to govern. If at the top there is a person who is not a doctor and very eminent, as now they have taken 6 very eminent doctors, not the board of directors.
Right.
So if you find out a top person who is above board, certainly the things will transfer in a good way.
Dr. Sekhon, what is your take on this? I mean, you know, the bifurcation of the role of the MCI into different...
I would definitely welcome it. The role of MCI is, one section of MCI should monitor the human resources, what we are developing and what are required. There is no agency which is actually monitoring this. How many medical specialists are required in our country and at what level? There is no agency which monitors this. How many orthopedic surgeons are required? How many MBBS doctors are required? There should be an agency which should monitor this and should have a placement that this is the area where it is. Now, next year we should have less number of medical specialists, more number of orthopedic surgeons. Next year, as the American Association does it, every year they change the seats as per the requirement of the population. But here it is not done. If there is a 6 seats fixed for medicine in MD medicine, next year again it will be 6.
So what else is required in your opinion to revamp the higher education?
One is the actual assessment of the requirement of human resources. Second is the revamping of the total syllabi and the curriculum system of the undergraduates. See, every time we are discussing about the postgraduate, we are forgetting about the undergraduate is the basic, and if we are not strengthening the undergraduate teaching, we are not strengthening the postgraduate teaching. We must strengthen the undergraduate teaching with a modern technology, with a modern syllabus, with a modern equipment.
Right. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us in this discussion. A revamp of the role of the Medical Council of India is on the cards. Also on cards is a common entrance test for the admission to the medical colleges, which is being opposed by some states and some private colleges. However, there is no doubt that the medical education system, which is the backbone of the country's healthcare system, is in dire need of reform. The sooner that happens, the better it would be. With that, we end this edition of Day and Night News Prime Debate. We meet again tomorrow with another issue. Till then, good luck and goodbye.